This bag is basically an automotive condom. It's a small bag, it's got some rubber inside it, and if you use one of these effectively, it will save you an untold amount of time, effort, and aggravation in your future. So we're going to start this video memento style. We're going to be a little bit into it and then we're going to cut back because I have a really important PSA to tell anyone who's working on a Chevy style, an older Chevy, either R4 or R12 air compressor, and they're replacing it with a new one that isn't exactly like the OEM. Get this kit. I was not kidding about it.
The part number will be in the comments.
And the part number will be down below and in the description. Comments, what is this? This isn't Reddit. I will also have a picture here, somewhere, of what the back of the old compressor looks like, and another picture of what the new compressor looked like, and you will see between the two of them that the new one has an actual milled out section, presumably designed for R134A. I don't 100% know. But when you try and put the end of a hose, which is flat, flush straight across, you try and put that flush end onto the new style compressor, it doesn't fit and leaves a giant gap. So in all our previous bits, when you first watch up until the point when we're actually doing this in the video, we're going to assume it's a couple different things. We were wrong every single time, and the reality of it is you need this parts kit to make it work. Welcome to, or welcome back to, High Lord Fox's Garage. I'm your ever-present talking host, High Lord Fox. Car Guy Dave is off camera, and this is not my garage. This is out of doors, where I will be punished for my transgressions by the sunniest of suns and the clearest of skies. We're yet again working on the 1993 Grand Am. This time it's the air conditioning. Unlike my ex, it does not get cold. So we've traced it down to the actual compressor or the little valve, and or the little valve in the dashboard. We definitely know this is not getting cold, and that may be plugged. We're hoping it's this and not that, because that's going to be a giant pain in the ass that we have to tear everything apart. And at that point, I'm just going to burn the car down and collect all $7 in insurance money. I think I've ranted enough. Car Guy Dave is getting ready to...
And you can tell, even though we're out in the heat, we can both stand to sweat a little bit.
Yeah. And I, of course, have long hair. He has no hair. And we're going to see who made the better decision.
So working on the air conditioning. This one has already been converted over a long time ago to R134. This car originally had R12. We had to get the compressor. We never changed the compressor, it just got converted over. So eventually the compressor just wore itself out because it was not made for R134, even though it had gotten put into it. It lasted years. 10 years since it got changed over. If you work on your air conditioning, you have to evacuate the system. It means you have to take it in, have the shop fully suck out all the Freon. You can't just vent it out into the sky, which is what a lot of people do.
Which we have clearly done off camera.
Going forward, we need to remove the alternator, the nice new shiny alternator that we just put in. We have to take this back out, of course, to get to the AC compressor.
So we'll bring the camera in a little bit closer. If you've watched the other videos, which will be linked somewhere on the screen, you can see the fun adventure we had replacing this the first time. Thankfully, the camshaft sensor is not on the agenda for today, so I'm going to bring the camera in closer so you can get a little better look at it, and we will go from there. Hopefully going into this today is a UAC, which stands for something, I don't remember. Compressor.
United Air Conditioning Corporation.
Apparently United Air Conditioning Corporation. Or whatever. I'll look it up. It'll be in the description. CO20067C, which is supposed to be the kit with the R134 conversion already on it. If it's not, I will be disappointed and have to walk home. I don't want to have to walk home.
Yeah, just keep turning until the hose falls out.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Put this stuff down and hold the compressor with both hands. It's going to drop down by your head.
Yep, holding.
Alright, take the bolt back out. Bolt is out. Tip one side down.
Yep.
Alright. Okay, now let's see what we're looking at.
Congratulations.
It's an AC compressor.
Welcome to the underside of the 1983 Grand Am. This cavity is where the air compressor formerly was. There are three bolt holes. There are 3 bolt holes in the bracket. You can take the top 2 off from the top, and you take the bottom one off from down here. It's fairly accessible once you have everything out of the way. There is somewhere hanging around here a plug that goes in. It has latches on both sides, so you got to be careful to not break it. It's up top somewhere.
Plug. You may have to buy a new one because we cut this one a long time ago and replaced it because the notches were snapped off.
Yep.
And it wouldn't stay plugged into the AC compressor, so it had to be replaced. It's a $5 part at the auto store.
Yep, that's what Car Guy Dave. And that is the back manifold. It has 1 bolt that holds it in place, and there is a bracket that holds the back end in place. I got some footage of it before, but this is right there. You can see some of the bolt holes that hold it in place. So you take the back bracket off, then you take the top 2 off up there, and then the last one here, and the whole thing just sort of rotates and comes out this hole once you take out this plastic flap.
You should be able to take this whole aluminum bracket out as one assembly with the AC compressor on it. That is not the case. There's a bolt, as you can see in that picture, right in there that holds this whole bracket in that you cannot get out until after.
Yeah.
Where's the bracket? Where's the
right there. Yeah.
There it is. That
Yeah.
holds that whole thing in there, and so you cannot take it out. So
Yep.
do not attempt it.
So do not attempt it. So there is one small bolt in the front. So that one bolt right there that's got never-sees on it, we removed it before we realized that we could not take the whole bracket out, and it has been reinstalled ahead of time. So the next thing is you have to get the seals off the manifold bracket, which Car Guy Dave has done already and sent them flying down attacking me with them. The unit we got actually has replacement seals, little O-ringy seal things. You can also buy them just by themselves, or if you buy an entire seal kit, it will include it. So what I did is I bought all 3 because I am an idiot. So now I have multiple copies of them. Links will be in the description. If we have any left, just leave a comment and, I'll pick a winner and send it to you if you want it for some asinine reason. Car Guy Dave is going to go look for the non-existent instructions, but we are going to have to drain the oil out of the compressor, put some real oil in it, and it goes back in this cavernous hole space, and we can then hopefully move on to charging the system at some point.
The AC compressor gets shipped with oil. In this case, it's called shipping oil. It means it's not enough oil for the whole system. It's just enough to keep the thing from drying out and seals going bad while it's sitting in storage. General Motors cars uses PAG 150. For Ford, uses PAG 46. Do not mix and match these oils. They're completely different consistencies. And if you have it in there and you mix and match them, because some people like to, you would probably blow your compressor up.
He's saying that from experience, but it totally wasn't me, honestly.
I've never blown one up. I've actually told someone to do a specific thing as to how much Freon to add to a system and not to overcharge it. They did not listen to me. I had the thing fully charged, working perfectly. He said, I wanted it a little bit colder because it didn't get as cold as my car, which got down to 26 degrees. They wanted theirs to get that cold, and I said, well, not all cars can achieve that. I'm going to have to live with the 42, 44 degrees that it was, which is still freezing cold inside the car. Leave it alone. So then on their own, they decided to add more Freon. And about 2 days later, the compressor started making a lot of noise. Rattling, rattling, rattling. And then suddenly it went bang. No more compression, no more AC. Blew up a $250 compressor that they would not warranty. And they had to buy another new compressor.
So that's why we have the big fancy manifold gauges.
Yep.
Which will come out later and we get to show you those.
So prior to us doing this 2 weeks ago, I had the condenser opened and blew all of the schmutz out of the condenser. There was a lot of it. Lots of schmutz. So now I'm just going to blow through the system again and make sure that everything blows out nice and clean.
Don't eat
Put
the
it
yellow
in.
snow. Don't breathe the white air.
So
Life pro tips.
can of brake cleaner. Yeah, so we have full airflow through the system. You will feel a small amount of restriction. You're not going to get full instant blow through because it goes from large size holes to these tiny little tubes in the condenser. Oh, there should be some, yeah.
There you go.
Tube on it.
Last one doesn't have tube.
So you can grab a tube off the top of the tube.
Tube.
Okay. All I'm doing is cleaning off the mating points of the manifold assembly. Now they sell air conditioner like line cleaners, and if your compressor is out and you have your condenser disassembled, the line's open, you can actually just spray brake cleaner right into the condenser and blow it out the other side to wash it out. A lot of people say don't do that. It's entirely up to you. I've done it multiple times. Now that a lot of times you can pick up a new condenser for 40, 50 bucks. It's just as easy just to buy a new condenser and replace it. But sometimes they're very, very difficult to get in and out, especially without breaking the lines.
The new one did not come with a screen and a little hole. We're going to try and see if we can pick the old one out. And by we, I mean Car Guy Dave. So the reason we use seals is because these are got little pits and little manufacturing tool marks on it. So we want to make sure that completely seals. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to put it in, stick it in there.
That bolt. Yeah, these two go in the front. There should be a third one like this. Third one goes through the front. Hold on before you do anything. Hold on up. Where are the rest of the up top? Huh? Well, I thought I'd originally picked up the bolts out. Here's the third one for the front. Okay, here's the 3 bolts for the front of the compressor. The stud and the bolt from the back are up on the top of the car. Yes. Over there. Okay. Just making sure that they go back in the correct order. Never sees. Let me get never sees on the first bolt, and then you can slide it up in. We'll get it in place and get the first bolt started.
For you, it's been probably about 10 seconds of editing, but we're back. It is day 2 of trying to get this, technically day 3, but whatever, time is fluid. Trying to get the air conditioning working on the 93 Grand Am. We have new parts, including a new manifold tube thing, and new seals, new O-rings, the whole 9 yards. We also have a new accumulator dryer, receiver dryer that's going to go in the front. So Car Guy Dave is currently pulling apart the front end with the headlight.
Little receiver dryer.
Fell this way.
First tool of the day got dropped.
Yeah, first tool of the day. So he is working to get that out. It's recommended you replace that anytime you do any major air conditioning work because water and condensation collects there and it tends to rust out the inside. It's, as I said, it's recommended to replace it because most people only do this kind of major work like once a decade or once for the lifetime of a car. So that's generally a good time to change it because you have the system open and you're not recharging it only to let all the Freon back out. So we are going to replace that while we're in here because Might as well. It's an inexpensive part. And then hopefully we'll get this in. We'll get it
That's
all
the thing.
recharged.
If you're changing your compressor, which we just did, you're supposed to order that part ahead of time. You're supposed to change it when you change your compressor. Otherwise, your warranty on your compressor is not valid.
That. With the headlight removed, headlight in looks kind of like that. Headlight out looks kind of like that. This is the dryer, receiver dryer. It has a mount to hold it in place and has the two bits where it actually screws into the system. So we're going to take this out. The new one comes with new O-rings and is nice powder coated black as opposed to the pitted aluminum, steel, whatever the heck this is made of.
It's aluminum. You have to make sure, because if you look at it, that these little tanks has one spot for one wrench, one for the other. Do hold this and do it, because if you just twist this, when you're tightening it, you will twist the other end right out of the tank and crack your new tank.
Yeah, so do that. You know, as I'm looking at the back of it now, one of the two sides is recessed and the other one is not.
Just a little bit.
No, on the hose. Can you look?
About this?
Yeah. On the back of this unit, this hole is like countersunk and this hole is not.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too just now. That's when I was just wiping it out. I'm just feeling the same thing. I'm hoping that's not making a difference there. That's the hole that was leaking.
Yeah, because we were like, oh, it's putting it at an angle. Why does it keep putting it at an angle? It might be at an angle because this is not produced properly. It might actually be the compressor itself.
It's the compressor. That's not flat, dude. The only thing we can do now, if we want to leave this compressor in place, is put a second gasket in there. There's definitely, it's a quarter, almost an eighth of an inch to a quarter of an inch depth machined out.
Yeah, on one and not on the other.
And not on the other.
I'm just seeing that now that we're in here. I bet the other one, if we go look at the other ones, either both machined out or not machined out.
Where the two ports of this go into the two openings on the back of the compressor, they machined one of them almost 2 to 3 millimeters deeper on one side than the other. They're supposed to be flush across the back side. So, short of us returning the compressor that's already mounted, and you don't know that because the compressor, there's a cap on the back of it that keeps the compressor sealed from dirt. So you mount the compressor, you get everything in, then you take the cap off the back, and then you bolt this into it to keep the compressor clean. Our problem is when we took the cap off the back, we put this into it, we had a hole on one side that's deeper than the other. When this piece goes in against it, it actually cants like that. It leaves a gap on the one side, and we have a leak.
We have, after much trial and error, and you've seen our trials and tribulations of this, we have a new AC compressor, we have a new hose, we have new O-rings all around, specialty O-rings that go down the back of the compressor. We have made sure that the system holds vacuum. We've had it hold vacuum overnight at negative 19 psi, and we've now vacuumed it out to negative 30 psi almost. So the system itself
it held
is complete.
negative 30. We opened up a valve and it sucked in some air, so we had to vacuum it out again. That was our fault.
Yeah, that was on us. And everything else has been connected and is all set. So we're actually technically done with the AC system.
Have to
So
recharge it.
we just have to recharge it. So let's get recharging.
Thank you for watching. One last thing I didn't cover in the video. The first hose we ordered was actually defective. It was the UAC hose for this car. I'm not sure if it was the actual production or just a defect. I don't know if all of them come with the error, but it was bent incorrectly and we had to return it. Ironically, had we noticed this issue with the rear of the compressor early on, we probably could have still used the original hose. So, you live a little, you learn a little. If you want to see the video that follows this one on where we actually recharge it and how to get your AC nice and charged, you can click up here, or you can click down here for a video that relates to your YouTube browsing and viewing habits. But that's it for me for today. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, mash the comment button for information, or if you have any questions or things you want me to do next. And as always, I'm your host, Ty Lord Fox, and have a nice day.